Special considerations. Backing. Traffic safety experts agree that all drivers should avoid backing whenever possible. It's definitely sound advice. If you can keep your ambulance out of reverse gear, you will significantly reduce your chances of a collision and potentially save a lot of downtime. However, there are times when you must back, such as into this garage. Whenever you must back, first scan the area where you will be backing to be sure there are no obstructions in your path, including behind or alongside your vehicle. Don't forget to check for overhead obstructions. Open your window so you will be able to hear any warning sounds. Don't rely on your vehicle's audible warning system to clear the area. You must be 100% sure that your path is clear. If not, stop and check it out before proceeding. When all is clear, proceed slowly. You will also be backing when offloading patients at an emergency room. Become familiar with any potentially hazardous backing areas at the hospitals and care facilities you visit most often. Note any light poles, low overhangs, high curbs, dumpsters, etc. If you are on a transport run to an unfamiliar facility, make every effort to check ahead for any unique circumstances involved in picking up or dropping off patients at that facility. As you back into an emergency department unloading area, scan for potential problems. Be on the lookout for family members or friends of patients who are probably only concentrating on the condition of their loved one and may not even think about the position of your vehicle. Also, keep an eye out for hospital personnel entering and exiting the facility, especially during shift changes. You must be 100% sure that your path is clear. And as always, back slowly. If you have a choice, always try to back from the operator's side. This position will give you a better view of the area before and while backing. At times, you will have to back your ambulance to pick up a patient. Normally, it is safer to back into a less traveled road or a driveway so you do not have to back out into a more heavily traveled road when you leave. That way, you will have a better view of traffic while backing. If you have any doubt about the terrain of the intended backing area, such as the possibility of soft dirt, mud, sand, or other obstacles, get out and check it before backing. Your crew will probably disperse immediately to care for the patient, so you may not have help backing. In any case, backing safely is your responsibility. If there is a crew member available, use that person as a spotter. But keep in mind that even with a spotter, things can go wrong, and a safe back is your responsibility. Agree with your spotter ahead of time on hand signals, especially the signal for stop. Place the spotter in a position where he or she can see the areas that you can't, but never place the person within your intended path of travel. If you lose sight of the spotter at any time, stop immediately. Backing should always be done slowly and with extreme caution. Whenever possible, use a qualified helper. At a collision site, there may be other emergency personnel, such as a traffic officer, who can help you back safely. Driving at night. In addition to many of the same hazards you deal with during daylight hours, you have a whole other set of hazards to contend with at night. Your first defense against trouble is to use your high beams when it is safe and legal to do so. You've probably heard the phrase advising you not to overdrive your headlights. This means you should be able to stop in the distance illuminated by your headlights. Whether driving with high or low beams, remember that your headlights can only shine straight ahead. On roads with hills and curves, you should always slow beforehand so you are not surprised by objects, other vehicles, animals, or pedestrians in the roadway. If oncoming drivers do not dim their headlights, shift your eyes to the right edge of the lane to avoid looking directly into the headlights. You may be tempted to use your high beams to retaliate. Don't do it. Your high beams may momentarily blind the other driver or the driver in front of you. As a member of the healthcare team, you are well aware of another nighttime hazard: impaired drivers. Be on the lookout for erratic drivers, those who are out of sync with other traffic, driving too fast or too slow for conditions, weaving back and forth within their lane, or driving without their headlights on, etc. Stay well away from any drivers you suspect may be impaired, and use your radio to alert the police about them. Impaired drivers are a danger to everyone on the road, including themselves. Hydroplaning. Earlier, we discussed the physical characteristics of an ambulance, which is heavier, higher, and wider than your personal vehicle. Don't be fooled by thinking that these solid characteristics will prevent you from hydroplaning. It can and does happen to heavier vehicles. While it is difficult to say exactly when hydroplaning will occur, if you see reflections on the road, it is a good clue that it may be possible, even at relatively low speeds of 30 miles per hour. Water builds up in front of and under your tires. With very little contact between the tires and the pavement, braking and steering become unpredictable. In wet road conditions, you should reduce your speed to lessen the likelihood of hydroplaning. If you feel your ambulance begin to hydroplane, take your foot off the accelerator. Avoid sudden braking and steering. Coaching reminder points. Remember to scan ahead for curves and construction areas. Remember to scan the road ahead and to the sides in low light conditions. Remember, it takes longer to stop in adverse weather.